You don't have to be born with a talent. You don't have to, if you think that it's not for you, it's not true. If you want it, just, work hard at it.
You have to be willing to work at it.
Get uncomfortable, that's all.
Yes. Yeah. And I love that you brought up the point about talent, because this is something I talk a lot with my kids as well. Actually, I did a TikTok on that where it was like, I had asked them like, do you want to do this thing? And they're like, I'm not good at it. And the other conversation was, do you want to do this thing? Well, I'm not good at it. I was like, how do you get good at something? And so it's like, you have to practice. And I think that the fact that you spoke on talent, like I know for myself, my middle human is very talented. And I'm like, not everybody's born with talent, but you always have the opportunity for skills. Like, and so what would you say to that, to somebody who's like, I wasn't born a singer, or I'm not good at whatever.
Right. Yeah. Well, it reminds me of yesterday. We were coming back from we were on the road, and we were listening to a John Bon Jovi podcast actually. And one thing he said that I really liked is that he wasn't he was saying that he wasn't the most talented singer, but he was the most talented, hardworking musician. Yeah, and that's what propelled him. And it's the work ethic, it's the conquering the obstacles and getting good at what you're, right? So no, you don't have to be born with a voice. I wasn't born with a voice. I learned how to sing at a very late age. I think I was 40 years old when I started to sing, right? I'm looking at your
wife, that's your beautiful wife.
Why I was 40 years old, but I was always a closet singer, and I always loved to sing, but I always thought that I didn't have a nice voice. I was shy. I didn't sing in front of anyone, except when I used to do backup vocals in bands and stuff like that. But then when our daughter was getting married and she asked me to sing at her wedding, I couldn't say no, and it's kind of what gave me the confidence to kind of practice and work hard and do it. And then I did it. I broke the ice, and then I fell in love with it. So I was becoming a musician, but I became a singer. Yeah. In that transition at the same time. So everything kind of started to fall into place by conquering those obstacles. And now maybe I'm not the best singer, but I love to sing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're incredibly talented as well in that gift. But
I wasn't before.
But you weren't before. And then I was wondering, like, did you have anybody impact you when you were growing up? Like, what made you want to do this?
Well, first it was, listening to old vinyls. I come from, the 80s.
We come from the 1900s.
I come from the old 80s. The 80s, so we were into vinyls and cassette tapes and stuff like that. So I grew up on Michael Jackson and Kiss and all this theatrical stuff and the choreographed, and I loved all that kind of stuff. And I just always kind of imagined myself being a performer and a singer-songwriter, or just at first it was more of a guitar player and a performer. But I was inspired by artists, obviously. But then I was inspired by teachers at school. My music teacher in high school really kind of gave me confidence and helped me to kind of grow as a musician. My dad kind of influenced me at the very early on, because my first musical memories were my dad. So, it's kind of something we weren't really close, my dad and I, because he was very, how can I say that, was very a man with a few words, so he didn't really speak, but at least we had this musical thing that I think, and maybe that's what I'm also, I want to keep, because it's kind of the connection that I have with it. Maybe that's part of it. Influenced by so many people online that I see now, there's so many amazing people that conquer their battles, and they achieve so much great things. Yeah. And I'm inspired by these kinds of people. Are awesome, basically. Yeah. And the things they achieve is unbelievable. You know?
Yes.
And that's what inspires me. And and so it's whatever you do, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.